Every haunting has a beginning and an end, but in this place, one becomes the other. Step closer, the lantern's glow will guide you. What you are about to hear are true stories of hauntings all over the world. Welcome to Help, I'm Haunted. Hello there, my darlings. Are you haunted? It has been a week, hasn't it? Well, happy Thursday. I'm so glad that you're here. And happy October. Wait. Oh, it's just happy October. I'm so happy. Ooh. Guten Abend, Zelda. Danke. Danke. Oh, so my darlings, thank you so much for being here. It is October the 2nd, and it starts. It's starting. We're going to have a good time. In the meantime, I want to let you know, thank you so much for being here, but I want to let you know that I spoke to deputy, I said officer before last week, but it's actually deputy, not so. I wanted to have him come on tonight. He can't because he and his wife are on their way to Florida. His wife is wanting to get a condo down there, and they're wanting to retire. So we wish them wonderfully happy, but we'll talk to him. He agreed that we can talk to, he agreed that I can record a call. And we know how that is because, I've got to get permission to make a phone call and to record a phone call. Oh gosh, no shade on anybody, but if you know, you know. All right. So I'm getting permission and I will ask him. So if you don't know what last week was about, here's a little tidbit. Let's play it again. Yeah. And would like to welcome each and every one of you who are new to this channel. We have a lot of fun. This is a great community. You're going to love it here. You don't have to worry. You can relax. You can do whatever you need to do. Mrs. Marie is in the chat. We welcome her as well. We got a lot of stuff to do. So here we go, my darlings. Welcome. I have another little thing that I want to show you. And I'll be showing it throughout the live. I want you to let me know what you think of this. Ready? Here we go. Let's play it one more time. I am thinking about, let me remove that. I am thinking that I may offer that. I have a spider. Oh, on the web. He's little. I don't even know if you can see him. Oh, no, we better not play around. Oh. Now where did he go? Oh my gosh, Zelda. Get rid of this guy. Where did this spider go? He was wee little. They come down through this. I have a vent and a fan above me, a ceiling fan. Let me see where this little stinker. I don't like spiders, especially when they're little. He was a little red one. Oh boy, where did he go? Well, I guess that's my fault. I was messing around. Wanted to show you a spider. Anyway, along came a spider and sat down beside me. Okay. So anyway, it's okay. It's all wonderful. So I think it's okay. He went down through my fingers. I don't see him. So he's gone. Listen, he's probably more scared of me than I am of him. And that happens every now and then. One will just come dropping down on a little, just on a little. And sometimes you just have to paying attention to see because it's so small. Anyway, hello. I don't want to catch no spider, but give me a second because I just want to make sure that he is gone because, this has turned into an action channel. Yes, I think it's gone. I think I got him. I think I got him in a little tissue. Let me see if he's here. Well, I don't know. Wish him well on his way. All right. So I think it's okay. He's not going to hurt anything. He's no bigger than a minute, as they say. So anyway, my darlings, what do you think? Can you see yourself doing this? Well, I'm thinking for a very, very limited time. Oh no. For a limited time, I may just go ahead and make those and put it in the shop. And if you would like that, then all you'd have to do is order it and I'll make one for you. You want to know the truth? That's not really me. I made that. So we can do that for you. If you send a picture, I'm going to ask Mrs. Marie if she can put that in the shop. Okay, give me a second because I have somebody outside and they're trying to get my attention. Just give me a second. Okay, my darlings, thank you so much. It makes me nervous when I have people standing outside the door because right? If you know, you know. So I'm going to try to work it out with Mrs. Marie. If you want something, it will be just like that, about a very quick 5 seconds. And if you would like that, head on over to the psychic shop. It's going to be a limited time only, probably for Halloween. Check on it later tonight. Pardon me, when I can get with Mrs. Marie and figure out how we would handle this. So there we go. My darlings, I've got a show for you tonight, but I have to thank some people. And pardon the voice. One of you lovely people whose name is Gloria sent me a package of 2 more totes. And man, oh man, thank you. Woman, oh woman, thank you, Gloria, because very much appreciated and very needed. Because, I got a lot of stuff. I just got a lot of stuff. Okay, so yes, that's that. And then from a new person in our community whose name is Heather. Heather just is so generous. And look, 3, count them 3. You know, there's my favorite little planner book. I've got them upside down. Let me do this. This one is beautiful, very nice, because it's got this little thing on the end that you can actually put a pen or a pencil in, whatever you prefer. And that's a black one. And then there's a green. Oops, see, you can see that's a green one because it's messing. It's messing with the green screen. And then this is the planner that I've been using. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And that is, now I'm going to show you something extremely cool, because when you go into my wish list, you have the opportunity to add something on that is not on my list. And I want to show you what she did. Look at this. It is a Poe bookmark. If that is not cool, look at this. Now, this is a little like sleeve that it can come in, but I'm just going to keep it in the sleeve because, well, I'm just bougie like that. And I just think that is so adorable. Thank you, Heather. If you are watching, pardon me. And I'm going to tell you, I'm very aware I am seriously looking for that little spider, and that's my fault. That is my fault because I was wanting to show him to you. And he ran off for his life. Well, let's hope that he's scared enough he's just boomed. I want to read you the note that she wrote to me. There's Heather. Oh my goodness. There is Heather. Thank you, Heather. You adorable baby. Thank you. I'm going to read your note because I adore it. It says, and this is so sweet. Thank you. Plan the book, write the book, and then mark the book. Isn't that clever? I love it. I have just recently found your channel and find you fascinating. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That's very nice. I'll take that. I believe you have such an amazing gift, and thank you for sharing it with all of us. From Heather Cook. Well, Heather Cook, you are amazing, and thank you so much, because I just love all this little, and you guys are so generous, and I will always love to show it, because I am just still so amazed that everybody sends so much. Give me a second. I'll tell you what, Shaggy probably could not even see. He'd be too busy on his own little way in that bloody spider. I think he's gone. I may have sent him in the next little realm. So we'll see. So anyway, my darlings, I think that's what's going on. Now, I am going to address a couple of things, but I do want to say, dear Richie Microdots, if you're watching, thank you for reaching out to me. I love you, and I cannot wait until we get to go on our little psychic haunt. I'm working on it, so it can be soon. But if he's watching, I did ask him to pop in and say hello to us, because he is a big fan of the channel, and we are definitely a big fan of him. And he's got a new video documentary that it will be coming out for Turtle Boy that's going to be explaining what happened from point A and point B. Look at this. I'm going from green to, I am well. Don't worry. I am well. I think it's reflecting from this painting, my light and everything else. But it's one of those things you just can't do it. So very good evening to each and every one of you coming in, my darlings. Thank you and welcome, welcome, welcome. Now I've got a story for you tonight. And this is going to be amazing because Um, oh, wow. Standing stones. Wow, wow. Okay. Okay. Now, I always make the backgrounds to go with the story. Now, let me know if you'll just put a 1 in the chat, because sometimes this is a mirror image and I can't tell. Am I pointing to the portrait or am I not pointing? Put a 1 in the chat if I am pointing to the portrait, because I am going to have to point to her. A 1 in the chat. Okay, so I am. Fantastic. Thank you. See, this is a community channel and it takes a community to keep me going. So what I have for you tonight is something very different, a little heartbreaking, but it's different. And since we had, oh, look, there's Sam coming into the rescue here. Thank you, thank you. She just jumped up on me and who knows, but it's her stream. So it's a little heartbreaking. It was for me when I was there. So I want to show you, you can see, you go up the steps, there's a landing, and then you go up these, there's just a wee little landing right here. And then it turns and of course goes up the steps. There's a little door under here. But back in here is another, hello, angel. There's another little door back in here. So there we go. Did YouTube change their format? I have no idea. Sadly enough, I don't know. One moment, I don't know. I wish I did, but thank you so much. I don't know. So, and don't forget, everybody, hang with me because we're going to have a giveaway. And those are always fun. Right, Sammy? Right, Mommy? That's right, my angel. Okay, my darlings, here we are. Get in the mood. I don't know if you can tell, but this wall, the walls are really looking tattered. That's not wallpaper. That's plaster. That's how old the house is that this portrait had been hanging in for a very long time. This home was located in Virginia. Now, I actually went there. Pardon me, I actually went to this home because it was for sale. And when I was moving to Virginia 100 years ago, I was actually studying at the Edgar Cayce Foundation. I was big into Psychic Friends Network. I was big into this. So I didn't announce anything, but I was married to a Navy commander. He was out to sea. I was looking at houses. What's new? That's why I always was. So I saw that there was a historic house on the market. I think it's over 100 years old because from my understanding, it was built during the Civil War. Yes. So it was about 125 years when I saw it. Yes, I was there and watched them build it. Yeah, 125 years. That's me. So my darlings, I answered this ad. I decided to go there. Didn't think anything about it. The realtor kind of acted funny. And she told me, she said, this may be a renovation project for you. And I said, that's fine. I'm not scared about that. I've got, I'm going to be a stay-at-home wife. I have a job where I work on the telephone. Of course, I'm not going to tell her what I do, And so I said, I will, I can definitely. And at that time, I had three cats, Tippy, Canoe, and Tyler too, of all things, because I was big into the historical stuff into Virginia. So I had Tippy, Canoe, and Tyler too. Goodbye. So answered this ad, talking to the realtor, and she acted a little funny. It was kind of this, a little off-putting, just a little, she was not keen. Yeah, and realtor. I love realtors because when they go into a house, buddy, they sell you, and I want to buy what you're selling, so you better sell me. But this lady was not. She was hesitant. She was all kinds of things. She was hesitant. And so, just so you know, I got there a little early and I was walking around the outside. And I'm always wondering, and my policy on going to haunted places. And when I pulled up, I thought, okay, here we go. This is going to be a good one. So I'm looking up. The outside was gorgeous. It needed work, but in my eyes, it was gorgeous because it was all original. I'm surprised that someone had not put it on the National Registry for Historic Places. As I was looking up, because I always look up, as I was looking up, it looked like someone upstairs just went past the window, the shadow. And you know how that is. You're looking into a window, and these were original windows. Come on, sister. She had to go get a drinky, so she's right back. This kind of stuff makes her thirsty. So had the original windows. And if you don't know what 100-year-old windows look like, they're not clear. You can see out, you can see in, but they look like they've got a swirl in them. Right, Sammy? So I'm thinking, oh, okay, somebody's here right now. So I go around, I go up on the porch, and the porch was just, I could just eat it because it's so beautiful. The porch was gorgeous. The porch was just, I think it was kind of like a leaded glass, yeah. The porch was just phenomenal, huge, wrap around, gorgeous, and it was just so much character. Stone around the perimeter of the porch, and you had to go up like 4 or 5 steps to go, and this big, and they called them, back then they called it a coffin door. And the reason they called it a coffin door is because that's when if somebody passed away, pardon me, that's when they would have a wake in your house. So your coffin would be right in your parlor or your front foyer or foyer, however you pronounce it. So it had the big 8-foot doors, 10-foot doors. And these things were not standard doors. They were heavy wood, 10-foot doors that were extra wide. They weren't I think it's a normal 36-inch door. I think these were like 48-inch, so that when you pulled them both open, it made a huge space. So there would not be a problem for pallbearers to carry a coffin in and put it on 2 things like a sawhorse, something like that, a table, something. As I'm up there on the porch, I knock on the door. I open, they had the screen door on there that did not belong. So I opened the screen doors and turned the knobs on because the knobs were in the middle of the doors. Talk about character. Turned the knobs, but obviously it was locked. It was closed. Just then, the realtor comes up. She drives up. She's looking at me like, oh God, I got a live one. And she comes up, introduces herself. I did the same. I give her my letter. Back then you had to have an approval letter. I just gave it to her. And she looked at the letter and she looked at me. And I said, is there a problem? And she said, no, I just don't know if you really want this house. I said, why don't you just let me be the judge of that? I understand. This is an older house, but my parents used to buy older houses in Ohio and renovate them. So I'm no stranger to this. And it doesn't scare me. And so she's like, okay. And I said, by the way, does someone live here? No. I said, really? I said, I thought I saw somebody upstairs. And the moment that I said, I thought I saw someone upstairs, she like startled and jumped back. And she said, just a minute, I have to go to my car. I thought, what in the world? Now, at this time, my darlings, there were no cell phones. Dad didn't have a cell phone, didn't have anything, nothing. Didn't have a cell phone. So I'm thinking, what the heck is she going to do in her car? So she comes up with these papers and she looked rattled. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm just not going to say anything. She opens the door. And when she went to open the door, it was like somebody was behind it and pushed it closed. I literally thought that poor woman was going to come unglued. And I thought, oh, here we are. And I said, well, she said, oh, there's a problem with the door. And I said, well, do you mind if I try? She said, no. So I turned the knob. And not only did one door open, they both opened at the same time. I didn't say anything, but she saw it. And she said, I'm waiting for maybe somebody to come along. You don't mind going through here yourself, do you? And I thought, oh, here we go. I said, no. She said, well, it's not furnished or anything. The only thing that you're going to see is a portrait that's painted that's over the stairway. And I said, oh, okay. So I said, yeah, I'll just be a few minutes. I'm just going to go and look in every room. So I started off in a home like this. When you walk into it, it's usually a grand foyer, something like that. And it will have a stairway ahead of you. But this one didn't. This stairway was located in a different place. Hi there. Greetings to Nightlight Paranormal for being here from Ohio. And that is my home state. I was born and raised there. So welcome into the chat, Nightlight Paranormal. Love it. Thank you. Thank you. I love it when paranormal people come in and when we can share things. So thanks for being here. So I'm walking through. You're welcome. Oh, goodbye, darling. I'm walking through, and when you first go into a big home like this, and this thing was a monster. Just to be like deputy. From now on, I'm just going to be like deputy. So this thing was a monster. But of course, I was in Virginia, and I love that accent. So you walk in, huge foyer. To my left, a big parlor room fireplace. To my right, a big dining room area, fireplace. And then through there were two, I don't want to say swinging doors, but they were on a hinge that you could go directly into the kitchen. So I chose to go that way. I'm going through the kitchen. I come out through the back. I mean, this place was like a maze. It really didn't make sense. if you want to know the truth, I don't know why it was built like that. Didn't make sense, but I loved it. What really does anything need to make sense? If you love it, right? Go for it. So I happened to come on this stairway and I looked over at her and I thought, what a lovely lady. This is about as close to her that I could get because she was lovely. And I thought, what a lovely lady. She's beautiful. But she just had this look, pardon me. She just had this look on her face that she just didn't want to be there. She didn't want to do it. She didn't want to be there. You know. So I am looking around. I see this door over here and I thought, well, when I come back down, I'm going to go look. But then when you go back here, there's another little door underneath here. And it's very, very well hidden. So I go up these steps and I go on the landing and I'm standing right in front of her. And I look at her and I don't know why this came out. And I said, you are beautiful. And I said, I wonder if you're here. And if I buy this house, will you stay here with me? Now, I don't know why all this is coming out because believe me, my darlings, if at night I see some chick walk into my room in a misty type of, it's going to startle me. So I'm standing there, I'm smiling at her. I head up the steps and I get to right about here. And I start hearing some crying. A woman, not baby, just soft crying, not wailing and gnashing of teeth. Soft crying. And it was like you hear it and no more. And I thought, oh, no wonder. She's got a look on her face. She doesn't want anybody to be here. Look at what she did with the doors. Hello. So I'm going up the steps. Now upstairs, it was cool, but it was weird because it was like this railing followed the whole entire upstairs and just kind of wrapped around. And then, of course, it had a back stairs for when they had servants. And I don't like to say that word, but that's the historical time of that it was, so that's the way it was. And servant stairs usually are very steep and very narrow. So I thought, well, I'm going to stay away from those because I can see me wiping out going down those stairs. And that chick on the porch doesn't want to come in. So it's going to be a minute before I'm found. And so I'm upstairs walking around and each room seemed like it connected with the other. Now, I just thought that was weird because I'm thinking, why would you want? But I get it because back then, if you've got kids, you want rooms. But why not just, walk out into the hall and right around into another room? So again, it was odd. I go in this room in the front of the house and I'm looking out this window. Good evening and welcome in everyone. So I'm looking out this window. That was a great room. It was a wonderful room. But I'm looking out this window. There was no curtain. And I realized that it was the window that I saw somebody go past. And I thought, oh, heck, is there somebody up here? Now, here's the rub, my darlings. In these old houses, there are no closets. That's when they bought those wooden chest of drawers, wooden wardrobes, wooden, those little things that you kept your clothes in. And back then, they weren't clothing hounds. They had just very little to get them through. So having a small wardrobe, you had your good Sunday go to meet and stuff. You had a couple of of dresses to get you through the day, through the week, and then the week starts all over again. So nobody had that much back then. Few accessories, that was it. But there was nothing like that up there. So I'm thinking, I'm on the hunt. I'm thinking, okay, I'd better see if there is someone up here. Walking around through there. All of a sudden, I get in another room and I hear crying, and it sounds like it's coming from downstairs. But it's the same crying, so I knew it wasn't the realtor. I knew it wasn't the realtor because I could see her standing outside waiting on me like, hello, chick, hurry up. So this was something. So now I couldn't find anyone. I made it through all these. And of course, my darlings, if you know me, I wear cowboy boots. That's it. I've always worn cowboy boots. I have a really nice black pair, and they're shorter. I don't look like I'm going to be roping any cows or anything, but they're shorter, and they have these little silver things on the tips. I have a black pair and I have a brown pair. That day I had on a black pair. So you could hear me, didn't sound like a saloon, but you could hear me walking through all this wooden stuff, right? So you knew where I was. So I'm hearing walking around downstairs. I go to the top of these stairs and I said, hello? Nothing. I thought, oh, hello. No one is here. No, I'm not into the spurs, my darlings. I don't have spurs that jingle, jingle, jingle. And I thought, I need to find that back stairway. I need to go down that back stairway. So I get to the back stairway, I open the door, and this wave, I don't even know if it was heat. It literally felt like a warm breeze. I opened the door and it was like whoosh over me. And I thought, that's different, because usually it's cool, but it can be if you've got this, usually it's anything. So I'm going down those stairs, and about the third step, and I'm holding on to the walls because there's no railings, my darlings. Hello, you don't have codes back in the later 1800s. I'm surprised, though, that they actually could sell it, that it wasn't up to code, because you need railings in these places. And they did, it's unfortunate, but you have to take some rooms and make some bathrooms. I was very impressed of how they did that. They had 3 bathrooms upstairs, and they actually took one of the biggest rooms and carved it into 3 separate bathrooms with 3 separate entrances. Pretty inventive. Okay. So I'm going down these back stairs. All of a sudden, I felt like 2 hands like this grip me and give me a little nudge, just like that, just a little jerk. And I jerked. And I'm going to tell you, I left out a yowl that probably sounded like I stepped on a cat's tail with one of my cowboy boots. Seriously, because it startled me. And there I am, because these stairways are almost straight up and down, my darling. I mean, they can be treacherous. And I'm thinking, oh, heck, you don't know if there's a stairway that, Yeah, I was bumped all right. And while I'm saying bump, do me a favor, if you're watching, and if you haven't yet subscribed and liked, I appreciate you if you would. So I collect myself. And I'm so in this particular situation, hi Mima, in this particular situation, And I learned this a long time ago. If you're ever in a dark place and you're going down steps, make sure you rub the back of your heel. Like if you've got a step, make sure you rub your back of the heel so you can keep, knowing where you're at. Helps you be a little bit more steadier. So that's what I'm doing because there's no light. And I didn't have a phone, obviously, weren't invented yet back 100 years ago when I was there. So I finally get to the bottom. And believe me, there wasn't much room from that bottom step to that door that you open up. And so I opened up, and there I am near the kitchen. I turn around to close the door, and I see this of a dress go past the upstairs. Because it was still light out. The sun was out. It was shining. So I'm seeing this. Here, let me show you like this. That's as quick as it went. Just like that. Don't you love how I have the props? Hello. So I thought, okay, well, let's I'm not here to do an investigation because I'm thinking to myself, Zell, this is an opportunity. And then I'm thinking, well, I've got this chick lady waiting outside that wants me to buy this house, but she won't come in. There's an issue. So I go downstairs. I shimmy my way through the rooms. And remember, I wanted to go through this door. But then I was standing in front of this door and I hear a door unlatch. And it was this one. There's a little door right here. You see this? And I thought, I'm so sorry, Miss K. This can be very dangerous. Very dangerous. So I'm standing in front of this door and I hear this door. These latches are they're not very sturdy to begin with. They're just, it's there to keep your friends out pretty much. So I thought, okay, all right, somebody's wanting to lead me somewhere, but I'm not going to do anything. I go through this door and it takes me into the oddest room that I've ever seen. There was a desk in there and the room was huge. It completely threw me off. I would have never guessed with this very small door that you open it up and it's this huge, high ceilings, huge, huge room with nothing but bookcases and this desk that was sitting in the middle. And I thought, oh, how cool is this office? How cool is that? Fireplace, just cool. So there was a chair. I sat down in the desk just to get myself a little acclimated. And I hear some steps. And I thought, oh, maybe she got brave enough to come in. So I got up, just walked moseying to the door because I'm still looking around. I put my hand on the side of the bookcase and it was loose. And I thought, oh, I hope I didn't do that because, this stuff is old. I hope I didn't. So I'm looking at it. And as I did that, this bookcase did a little jolt. And I thought, holy mackerel, there is a hidden door. Something is there. So I'm standing there. I thought, what am I going to do? So I went to the front door. She's standing out there. And I said, Uh, I don't think that I did this, and you may not know this, but one of the bookcases in the big room moved, and her eyes, and I said, not on its own. I just was feeling around as I was going out the door, and that was like it it had some give to it, but the whole bookcase giving moved. Hello. And she looked at me like I was completely daft. I mean, seriously, she looked at me like I had just, like I was getting ready to shapeshift. That's how she looked. Her soul was leaving her body because at this point, that was all she could take. And she said, "What do you want to do?" And I said, "I want to go back in, but I wanted to tell you because I don't want you to think that I'm damaging it." She goes, "You can't damage this house." Okay. So I said, "All right, I get it. Okay." I said, "So can I go back in and explore a little bit?" And so she looks at her watch. I said, "Well, if you have to go," she goes, "No, I've got about 30 minutes yet. If you can just, she was trying to hurry my crack up, basically. So I'm like going back in there because I can't wait. I'm so excited and I want to move. I go back to this door and it's locked. And I thought, oh, okay. So then I go to the next door because it had clicked, the lock clicked. I opened up this door and it was weird. It was like this long, you know what, my darling JMS? That's exactly what this is. I do have my own show here, Telly, but thank you. I know exactly what you mean. This was like a long, narrow closet that went the whole length of that great big room. But I noticed that there were gaps and some light was coming in. I'm thinking, what is this? So I'm walking through there. I get to the end and I can see into this big room from those little gaps. And I'm thinking, oh, heck no. Oh, heck no. You mean they're taking people in there and they're going to spy here? What were they doing? And what were they into? Hello. Hold on just a minute, please. This is the Shaggy Noodle. And he is purring like crazy. Say hello, Shaggy. All right. So I'm thinking, okay, something is up. There's a backstory. You'll figure it out here in a minute. This is for Jerry. This is Jerry loves the Shaggy Noodle Boy. So I'm thinking, okay, there's something going on. Because this door almost looks like a false wall. You would not be able to see it. So I went to go back into this room, and this room unlocked again. The door was unlocked. Now I thought, maybe. Oh, can you hear him purring? Oh, are you good? He's hugging everybody. He's hugging everybody. He's hugging everybody. Thank you. Thanks, everybody. I know he's a baby. So, thank you. Hold on. There you go. Well, you know what, my darling? I've been offered that and I turned it down. Because I ain't making nobody any money. I'm making YouTube enough. So that's where the gig is gonna be. So okay, my darlings. I go back to this. I go back to the room. I shimmy that bookcase, and there was a lever on the top. And I thought, how on earth am I going to? So I'm moving this chair around. I couldn't move the desk. So I moved the chair around, got on standing on, I could have wiped out and that would have been end. I would have been the one haunting this house. I get up there and there's some papers on top of the shelf. And I thought, first of all, the first thing I thought was, well, nobody dusts. Nobody dusts around here. And then I'm thinking, oh, get over yourself. So I moved this and it looked like a file room. It had drawers built in. It had drawers built in. It had, so I don't think it was a safe room. I think it was kind of like sort of a safe. But there were these papers that were on top of that, of the bookshelf. And those were probably a good 12 feet, probably high, 12 feet. So yes, they did not use shaving cream in that house. It would still be dust free. So I'm thinking, oh, I need this house. Now, back then, my darling, this was in the 80s. This house was $157,000 back then. Now it would be, hello, do you have two of them? I will steal them today. Hello. You know what I mean. It was a steal is what I mean. I don't steal anything. I think you know what I mean. So 157,000. I could have probably picked this joint up for 135. And that's what I'm thinking. Oh, 135 is going to get me where I need to go because I need to be putting some money into this joint. Just as I climbed down and had those papers, I hear this crying all over again. And this house viewing for me to purchase it, buddy, turns into an investigation. And I'm thinking, oh, heck, I've got 30 minutes. I didn't have a watch on. I thought, well, she'll come and get me. If she doesn't like it, oh, well, she can't take a joke, right? Hello. So I go back over to the desk because it's still light. The windows are there. There's no electricity here. Go. What are we doing over here? Huh? Eating my hair. Stop. Sorry, everybody. This is a new thing for this man. Let's just eat on mommy's hair. So I go over to the window, put these papers down on the desk, and my darlings, these are letters from the Civil War. And I'm thinking, holy mackerel, nobody has seen these. Now, this was in the 1980s, so about 100 years. They've been up there, covered with dust. I'm hacking like a crazy woman, but I got to see these letters. And it talks about this woman being there. And the man who built this house was an officer. But he didn't want to get married. Because evidently there was a child on the way. And he said it in a very kind way. But he was talking about, evidently, talking to his parents about going to war and faking his death so he did not have to come back and marry her. Because, you know, things like that happened back then. And I'm thinking, no wonder she's bawling. So as I get into the letter reading, I hear Mrs. Chick come on the front porch. She comes in, hello, hello. She's irritated because I'm happy. No, she's irritated because I did overstay my welcome there. And I said, well, you can come on in. And I told her, I said, I found some letters. Well, all of a sudden, all of a sudden, she became interested and I became happy because we were putting the pieces to the puzzle together. And it was these letters who talked about, I have a plan. And I thought, uh-oh. And he said, I have a plan that I will be able to come back. But the unfortunate part is she won't be there. If I have to go through marrying her, then I have a plan. And I'm thinking, oh, I hope you're steaming your hot dog buns down there in the hot place, pal, because I know what's up. Now, just to give you a little context, I'm allergic to cats too. That's why I get the fuzzy nose every time. Let's hope that I don't. So let me give you the context of this house. It was not in a neighborhood, even though it was. The houses were not built closely. There were woods, trees all around. That's why I liked it, because I like my privacy. So if I want to go on my front porch at 4:00 in the morning, I don't have my nosy neighbors like upstairs come down and looking to see what I'm doing. So I'm thinking, oh, okay, what's going on here? So she said, what do you think we need to do with these letters? And I said, I think you need to take them to your office. I think you need to call the Historical Society. I think you need to, because they need to be preserved. I think you need to make sure that, because there's some historical reference in there, that this man is a lieutenant in the army, and there needs to be, they need, regardless of the content, because we didn't get through them all, because on the top of this bookshelf they were all scattered. And she said, well, I wonder if there's more behind the bookshelf, because I just left it open. And we found a few things back in there, but these letters, oh no, they were very damning. Pardon it, professional friend. They were. And you just kind of wonder if somebody, because I have this vision of somebody coming in the house, and if they would have seen those letters during this time frame, they may have arrested him. Even though he didn't say that he did anything, there was a reference of he had sort of kind of a plan. And, hey, have I always said, if I weren't honest enough, I could have just taken those letters and skippity-doo-dah right out of there. But I have a rule. And the rule is, especially in these types of circumstances where you're hearing doors and footsteps and seeing a chick and you're hearing crybaby and all this other stuff, you don't take anything. You leave it. You don't take anything. But in this particular case, there was some integrity that went with it historically. And since the realtor was dealing with an owner who I think was family, an elderly gentleman who had this, I told him, I said, I think this is important and I think you need to do it. We went outside and we're looking through the letters, and there was one little letter in a lady's handwriting, and I know it was her, from Elizabeth, who was talking about how sad she was, that she felt that the lieutenant loved her, and soon they would be a family. So she wasn't saying, hey, do the right thing. She's being very eloquent about it, but she also knew during that time that you didn't do this sort of thing. And she said, I have given my life to you. I will be glad to be the mistress. I will be glad, blah, blah, blah. So I'm thinking, okay, So we left. I went home and I thought, oh, heck, I got to find some things out. I went to the Historical Society the next day, talked to the lady. I was there. And you know me. I took a fresh composition book, righty, all this stuff. The reality is, the story is very sad. However, there was enough there in the story that I called the realtor and I said, look, I'd like to buy this house. But I'm there there's a stigma that goes with this house. And that's according to the the Historical Society. There's a stigma that goes with this house. But there's one thing that I need to find. And she says, what's that? I said, I'm not going to tell you. I want to go and I want to see it myself. So a gentleman from the Historical Society who was just giddy with being thrilled to be able to get into this house, because you couldn't get in unless you had a qualified buyer. And I'd already given my letter of approval. We got up to this painting and I said, sir, could you do me a favor and take the painting down? And he looked at me and goes, why? I don't know. And I said, what are you going to do with this painting? It's not like somebody has claimed it. I'm not wanting to take it. I don't want to buy it. We're going to hang it up. But if you will do me a favor and please take down the painting. So reluctantly, he and the realtor, cut from the same cloth, took down this painting. Now, this painting was a lot more huge. I had to make it a little smaller so it would fit in the frame of my background. But this painting was huge. They took it down, and I just happened to have a little something that I could pry the back of the painting off with. I just took it with me. I don't know why. It just came across for me that day, that little urge. Give me a second. Thank you. And I can tell you what, I keep looking around for this little spider because I'm like, I think he's gone though. I'll make sure that I give him a proper sending him off to the, hi there, Bad to the Bone Paranormal. Welcome in, welcome in. So yeah, it wasn't a crowbar. It was like a little penknife, just a little one. Swiss Army knife, really, kind of like a little. And then I took a John Wayne with me. And for those of you who knows what a John Wayne is, if you know, you know. So we took it down and they were not happy with me. I said, look, call the police. What are you going to do? There's something here. And I looked at the Mr. Historical Society man and I said, and you know it. And he looked at me and it was like his face went white. And I said, mm-hmm. So we took a little bit of this back of the painting off because you could tell there was like a sheet of something over it. And then there was the painting. There was a little note. There was a little note in the back of that painting. And the little note, I can't really remember what it said right now, but I can get the gist of it. And it was pretty much, to the person who finds this note, know that I am gone. Know that it was against my will. But also know that I will remain here around this house. I allowed love to overshadow my best. It wasn't interest, but it was something to that effect. May we all rest in God's peace. E. And I handed that over to the Historical Society man. And we just all kind of stood there. I said, she's here. She's here. And he said, yes, she is. So we called the sheriff. The sheriff comes out. We tell the story. And I'm going to tell you the story in a minute. And they decided to get cadaver dogs and go around the house. And wouldn't you know it, in the back where there was the little wooded area, this beautiful golden retriever mix. If you would have seen her, you would have thought that she was just this. You would have never guessed. But my darlings, it's my understanding that this dog could smell a cadaver 16 feet deep. That is something. The trainer that had this dog did a great job. That little dog, I loved on that little fellow, or little girl rather. I loved on that dog till I thought these people were going to be so mad, but she was just adorable. But I've never seen, this is just so interesting. I've never seen anything like this in my life. When that dog got the scent, she turned into, it was like a mask. She turned into an animal with a purpose. She knew the assignment. And they came out and they found a body. Here is the story. Here is the story. This young lady met the lieutenant while he was in another area of Virginia. Her father was also in the military, but her father didn't have a good reputation. But this lieutenant didn't know that when he first met Miss Elizabeth. They went out a few times and then the inevitable happened and she became with child. At first he was very happy until his superiors called him in because he lived in this house. And the idea of having this door beside this big, long door, evidently that smaller door was more covered. The lieutenant would take other military members, have dinners, etc. And then afterward, they would go in and they would discuss things. They would talk. But somebody from the regiment would go in this little door in the hall and would peep through into that big room and listen to what was going on. And this lieutenant on purpose would leave the room to either get more refreshments, whatever the case, and he would be going in this room and he would listen to what they had to say. One day, they started talking about Elizabeth. They started talking about how they knew that she was expecting and that it was the lieutenant. They also started talking about how they thought her father, I don't know why I'm whispering, but it just seems like it goes well with this, how they thought Her father was a spy. Talk about, hello. And thank you, because you guys are my grifters. I'm a grifter. I just had to put that up. Somebody told me to put that up, so thank you very much. Hold on. Somebody just told me something. Thank you. I'm not paying attention, Captain. Thank you. I just saw it. Thank you. So give me a second. Somebody needed something and I needed to see it. Okay. Give me a second. Okay. So anyway, sorry about that. Needed to take care of something. Where am I? Right there. Okay. So they started discussing things. Pardon me. They started discussing things about how they thought her father was a spy. They thought he was a spy for the North. So there was a collective decision in order to use this situation. The lieutenant decided that he was going to marry Elizabeth. And then someone, and because, hey, it's no different back then than it is right now, only they don't have Twitter and they don't have the internet to be yucky and sharing stuff. Someone who was in that room felt bad because they knew Elizabeth loved the lieutenant and nobody really liked him. But he was the lieutenant. Nate, I loved when Nan on your show and said it is a reverse grifter. She is a reverse grifter, and we just love Nan. Hope you're watching, Nan. Love you. So he decided he was going to marry her. And someone from that hidden door went to her father and told her father what was going on. Well, back then, those types of offenses you could get, done away with. So they were very cautious, and he told Elizabeth, and she didn't believe it. They even told her about the hallway door, and she didn't believe that. Until one day, she was there at the house because they had gotten married. She was there at the house, and some people came in that wanted to see the lieutenant. He took him in the door, and she could hear the door lock. She knew about that room and went in there and heard the lieutenant plan to get rid of her and said, if I end up not having the guts to do away with her, I will fake my death. I will go to another regiment, and I will carry on from there. And they had it all planned. He had it all planned with, all of his people and everything else. So that's when she decided, because she was expecting, that's when she decided, when they left, Horsey, she knew they were going to be gone for a while, she wrote a note and put it back behind the portrait. Her mother had died when she was a young girl in childbirth when she was giving birth to her brother, Elizabeth's brother. So she grew up with her father and she was very close to him. So now she put this little note behind her portrait. And the next day she sent word to her father through courier that she put a note behind the portrait. And then she wrote a letter because she knew that he kept these important letters on top of the bookshelf. So she wrote a letter up there and said, I know what you're doing. And I have placed something somewhere that have told the truth. Well, while she was in there, she did not hear the horses. I was going to say the horses pull up. Hello. She didn't hear the horses pull up. She didn't hear the horses ride up. And he caught her putting that letter on the top of the shelf. He immediately sent word, and they unalived her father before he got the note. He came back. They came back. It was like over a couple of days. He came back. Now, I'm going to tell you, my darlings, okay, well, we're not going to talk about this. We're not going to talk about in cases right here, but I understand. And I get it. He came back and unalived her. So the body that was found by my little sweetheart golden retriever mix was Miss Elizabeth. And they could tell that she was with child. She was buried in the dress that was in this portrait. Now, I wish I could have been there. Of course, they're not going to let me go there because there's a forensic unit there. Hello. But I saw a picture, not of her, but kind of, sort of, and it was the same dress as this portrait. So it turns out that the owner of this home was a direct descendant of the lieutenant and was disgusted at what had happened. But these things happened. I mean, it's no different than what it is right now. Hello, can I just tell you? The only thing different is the media. But he did it because he thought that her father was a spy. He thought then there was going to be trouble. And unfortunately, he made some very unfortunate moves. No, my dog, no, I said she was my dog because she loved me and I loved her. Because I was just, I know I made the handler mad because I was just hugging on her so much because she was just so adorable. So the end of the story is the lieutenant, they were in one of these battles, and I think it was in a battle of near Chattanooga, Tennessee, that was Chattahoochee or something, I don't know. And he was captured. He was an officer, And man, oh man, it wasn't pretty, under my understanding, but he got what he deserved. Pardon me. So it turns out this house was left to the lieutenant's sister. And then from there, it was handed down into family. No one, when I looked at this house in the 80s, no one had lived there. Had to be 30 years. Pardon me, 30, maybe 40 years. The house had sat empty. And it was in pretty good shape, I have to tell you. But at this point, I decided not to buy this house because I felt that I would be battling sadness constantly from the crying and everything else. So what I did do is I went to another home that I bought with my husband that was close to Fort Monroe in Virginia, that happened to be, of all things, I was able to take my 3 kitties, Tippy, Canoe, and Tyler too. We fell upon a house that was actually the great-granddaughter of President Tyler, whose husband, she met this young man. They got married when they were 18. And when I went to buy the house, she was something like in her 90s. So she lived in that house all those years. In fact, they had slaves. Unfortunately, that's what it has back then, but they built the basement, and that whole house, that's the house where the vampire came up to the front porch. That's the house where my grandmother went into the basement. That was a whole other thing. So I passed on this house. I don't know if it's still standing or not. I've tried to find it. I don't know. I'm not going to put a lot of energy in it. As far as I know, they took the portrait of Elizabeth, and they've got it hanging in some museum in Virginia, and it's on loan by the family, where they'll take it back for like 3 months, and then they'll take it. So they took it to someone who could restore historic paintings and so forth. And then they have it on loan, and they loan it out to different. But that's the story. And it's no bloody wonder she was crying. So she knew what her, pretty much from the letters, pretty much from the information from the Historical Society, she knew what the inevitable was. And she also knew that when she got caught, her father would be meeting his maker, and it was very unfortunate, very unfortunate. So that is my story, and I'm sticking to it, but that's my story of this beautiful house. I doubt I'll ever make it back to Virginia. You never know. My travels may take me there. If I do, you can bet I will go there. I will make sure that I take plenty of pictures, do a video. And the last thing I did here was, I think that there was a family that bought it, but I don't know. We'll see. But it was very sad. Very sad. And there we go. So we've got a few little chatty things. Chitty, I said. So there we are. Claudia, welcome, my darling. Welcome. A new member. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. And I want to thank each and every one of you for coming in tonight. I'm so happy that you're here. True Oracle is growing by leaps and bounds. And I want to thank you for that too. And I also want to make an announcement. We are going to be doing some EVPs for One Charlie Kirk very soon. And I'll make sure that I let you know an announcement, announce it so you can be there and partake. We're going to be very respectful. We're going to be, I'm contacting the developers of the spirit boxes and making sure that I have up to date, because we have been using them a lot and I want to make sure that they're all up to date. So there you are. And Cheryl, thank you so much. You have gifted 10 Fate and Fortune True Oracle memberships. Thank you. And don't forget, on Sundays, not this Sunday coming though, because I did make plans with my son and I've got to do that. But on Sundays, we have member only, and I read your cards. So you don't want to miss that. Please and I'll announce that. Please make sure that you're able to come in there. So I'll announce that as well. Boda Bob, thank you so much. How do you get the backdrops you featured on your spooky chats? You mean on here? I sketch them out. I have a program where I hand draw, sketch them out. I'm not this talented, but I hand draw them out. I know, and then I have a program that I put it in, and then I tweak the lines and I tweak it to how it's supposed to be, and tweaky. That's all I do. I use StreamYard. They have a feature in which I can upload my own backgrounds. And then it also has a feature where I can, like these animated little things, like our little buddy in the cemetery, and me eating popcorn and doing that. And let me show that again for all of those who you missed it. Look at me. I actually made that. I'm not sitting there. I made that. And if you would like one of those, I will announce when it is available. We will be putting it most likely in the psychic shop. So I'll run that again. Let me do this. I'll run that again. There we go. I have to have the candy corn. Look at my buddy there. What a way to meet, guys. So if you would like, I can actually take your picture and put it in a surrounding like that. I'm going to make sure that, don't get freaked out. I can do a vampire, I can do a werewolf, I can do whatever you like. Someone asked me if I use Chat GPT. Not for the images. I use another program. But I do use what's called Agent, and I'm able to make all of my, I do all my planners, and I do all kinds of things. Werewolf, that's right. So thank you so much. I just make all kinds of things. So, but I'm busy. And I'll tell you, it's like at first I was a little worried, but then I'm thinking, well, I can either do Marisma. Okay, my darling. At first, I'm thinking, you know what? I could either go to the library and sit there and not, because when you think about this, information at the library, once it's published, that's it. Nobody really goes back and updates their books, except if you have a law library, and I don't need a law library. So sometimes I can get old stuff, but this is a good way for me to reach into where I need to reach into and get what I need to get. Now, I do have my own personal, you can do, we could do Michael Myers. Absolutely. Jason, Michael Myers, all of them, I think. I have to, so I'm not copywriting. I have to make it look a little different, just so you know, because I can't copyright stuff. But just I can either do just a little image, or I can animate it. So we'll make sure we'll keep doing that, whatever. So let me see. Nate, may I ask how much roughly it costs to run the streams and AI stuff, if that's not rude? Well, it's not rude at all. They have a separate, you could actually do a free StreamYard I did that when I first started out because I didn't know. I mean, I didn't know if I was going to like it. I didn't know OBS is free. I could be using OBS, but it doesn't have all the features that StreamYard has. Restream is free, but you can, yes, Frankenstein, we can definitely do. But you can, I mean, so it depends on what level you want to go. The AI programs that I have are pricey, but it's because I really want quality images to come out. I really was kind of happy with this one because I got it right on the fourth try. On the fourth try was kind of right. So sometimes you have to keep going and going, but you could, there's a free chat GPT. There is a, and then I have the newest, latest one. I think it's like 20 or $25 a month or something. So it just depends on really what you want to do and what level you want to get to. And now, quite frankly, I'm just going to tell you this. You can ask Mrs. Marie. I spent about a month taking classes. I took a ton of classes on AI, on how to, because to me, why have something if you're only going to use just a little bit of it? And especially with chat GPT, there's a whole broad range that you could do. And then I decided to take the coding classes at the same time so I could code things. But so yeah, I mean, I wish I had my Mac, and I will be getting a Mac. I love Mac. I am on Windows right now. And mm, mm. I have to be careful of these characters and people that look very similar. I have to change that actually, because if I sell them, I have a copyright issue, and I certainly don't want to get sued. We don't want to get sued. So anyway, an actual library is the only way for the truth most time. It is. It is. The problem is I'm not close to an actual library. And the library that I'm close to is a college library, and I can't get in. So, but I have a lot of reference books here. In fact, as far as paranormal and divinatory arts and all kinds of other things, um, I have a historical library. The oldest book that I have is from the 1500s. I have some books that are in French that I'm trying to get translated, but I mean, amazing some of the things that they came up with, changes in terms. So interesting for me to, and I read them. I have them on my Kindle. I read them. So, hi there, my darling. It's Allie, y'all. Hi, Allie. Nice to meet you. Do you work with law enforcement anymore? I'm trying to solve crime. I do. If I'm asked, I do. I don't insert myself into anything, but if I'm approached and I ask, yes, I will. I don't do the children's stuff as much, but if there's a case and I get approached asking for help, I will. I will do that, but it has to be from law enforcement with with family members' approval. I don't get into the squabbles because sometimes the squabbles happen. Let me see what else here. I love Michael Myers' silhouette in the back of my car. Love that. Yeah, I have to be careful. I would like to do one. Remember the Psycho Mama that has the thing? That would be kind of funny to do. So I mean, I'm going to come up with some ones that look pretty good. And I'll make it so that if you give me, because what I would need, I'm just going to tell you up front, if this is something that you want to do, I would need a photograph. If you want to do a full length photograph, that's even better. But I need a photograph from at least your shoulders on up, facing front ways. There you go. And then it would be good. So your head on Linda Blair in the yeah. Yeah. So see, a lot of these. Oh, yes, Scooby. This is Scooby Doo. Look at everybody and tell them hello. You know, 1, 2. Okay. Children of the Corn. Oh, yeah. I have family members that are Children of the Corn. There we go. So we'll do that. But I have something else I want to show you. And then, yes, Sissy. Get down, Angel. No. I have something else I want to show you. I call her Scooby Don't. You know, you've heard of Scooby Doo. Well, she's Scooby Don't. All right. So thank you. Somebody said give me back here. Silent Rebel. Oh, you're adorable. Thank you so much, darling, for saying that. I appreciate it. Hold on. Somebody, I think, sent me a Venmo. Yes. Give me a second. Says, don't read this out loud. Okay, I won't. Thank you. Thank you. Now I want to show you a little something. This happens to be my iPad. Okay? Happens to be my iPad. So many villains in the... Listen, I would put those villains... Wouldn't that be a gas to put Hank Brain in? I could make him kind of look cartoonish. Don't get me started. Got a list of them. Thought Scooby was a boy. Scooby is a girl because Shaggy is the boy. So I got Scooby, Shaggy, and Paranormal PD. All right. This is my iPad. Now I want to show you a little something. I'm not going to show you all my files here, but I want to show you a little something. And I have these in the shop right now. Many of you have asked, and you can see it right here. I'm sorry if the light is showing. The Guide to Cartomancy. I happen to write this. It is available in the psychic shop right now. You can download it right now. And my mods have those links. And you can be reading cards tonight. Cartomancy is playing cards. And this is on my iPad. And there you go. And these are written by me. And it tells you how to read cards with the meanings that I use. That's number 1. And what you do is I download that to my Dropbox. And then you just pull it in. You pull it up. Now look at this one, my darlings. You click on this one. This is the tarot one. I'm going to tell you this. This tarot one has, I don't know, I think it's like 120 some pages. The other ones don't have as many, but I go in, this is 121 pages. You can scroll up. You can't see it here right now. Pardon me. Let me see. You can't see it, but I give you the whole, oh, look at this. Don't I look spooky? You can scroll on up there. It has a place for notes. You can actually write notes if you have a scribble pen. You can learn, and that's it. You can read cards tonight. So our beautiful mods have dropped the links in the chat. They're downloadable immediately. So because I've been getting a lot of that, Zelda, where do you get your meanings? I have different meanings. The meanings of my card, and thank you so much for allowing me to do that. The meanings of my cards are for my ancestors. There's a French way, there's an Anglo-Saxon way, there's a German way, there's a this way, there's a that way. And I use just a little bit and kibble from both. The tarot, I have taught tarot and I've taught cartomancy for years. And you can have the meanings to every one of my cards. It tells you what type of decks to have, all of that. So I just wanted to share that with you. All right. I think, hold on. I love this channel and Lady Zelda. Thank you so much, Chaos Granny. And I think that is Kansas Granny, I think. Maybe not. But my darling, whatever it is, I'm so glad that you're here and I see you all the time. I love this channel and Lady Zelda, and I love you back a bunches, because if it weren't for you guys, I wouldn't be able to be here. And I'll tell you what, we've had a huge growth on True Oracle, and we are so thankful. We've had like over 2,000 subscribers in the last maybe 1 week. And the way that's growing, hey, True Oracle may surpass this channel. Well, I better get on it. I better get on it. Now I'm in competition with myself. I'll take it. Okay, there we go. Sunlight. I have a classic set of tarot cards and a cat theme of tarot cards. I also love the original set from Miss Cleo. My grandmother bought it back in the day. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Down to me a few years ago. I remember Miss Cleo. She was in competition with psychic friends when I worked on there. There you go. May I ask what you think about palm reading? I do it. And actually, it is in the psychic shop. I have a way that I read palms. All you have to do is take a picture of your palm, just like this. You do 2 palms or 1 palm. And you can send it over, and I read your palms. I think it is very accurate. I believe that it tells a lot about us from the time that we were born. And I don't know if you know this, but the lines in our palms do change. So I do palm readings. I also do, I have what is called a Zeldan Codex code. That is a particular way of numerology that I do. So there's all kinds of things. There's a moon report, a moon phase report of the position of the moon that the day you were born, and the life path tarot that things never change. It tells why you've gone through things the way you do. So it's amazing, these things. Sometimes people are, scared of it. I wouldn't be scared of it at all. It's just a part of this. I'm a firm believer, as long as you don't take your attention away from our Heavenly Father, then the one thing I don't believe in is necromancy. I do not call spirits back from the won't. That's a big no-no. You want problems in your life, do it. And I mean spiritual problems and trouble with the big guy. Don't do it. Not worth it. Hold on. Where do we find the links to the card readings? My darling, they are in this. They're in the psychic shop, or I'm sorry, Patty's put one up here right now. Patty's got it up there. The psychic shop. You can get readings. You can get all kinds of things. So yeah. So there you go. Thank you, Patty. Meemaw purchased and downloaded a few months ago. Thank you so much. I don't see the guides on it. Let me get this, and I'm going to show you where to find them. Oh. All right, let me share this screen, and then we're going to have a giveaway. So hang out, my darlings. Hang out, because it's almost giveaway time. So hang out, please, please. All right, let me see. I can always tell the future, but this stuff stumped me sometimes. All right, here we are. Share. There we are. I don't know if you can see this or not, but I'm going to be moving my cursor around. On the far right side, you see where it says shop. I don't know if you can see that or not. There's a drop-down menu. You should be able to see that. There's one for palm reading. Let's click on that for a minute. You can see the palm reading there, and it gives you the idea of and the ability to choose. It's either one hand or both, and you upload your palm images there. But then going over here is a video reading. You can go to the video readings, and then you can come here and do that. And also, let's not forget, I will personalize an audiogram for you and give them a message they'll never forget. You can either ask me to, I can do it in person. I can say, hello, I'm your psychic today and happy birthday, or whatever you want to do. You can do that. Then you go below that, and there's some printables there. Let me see where the psychic shop is. Hello, where I get everything else. Oh, I'm looking for it too. Give me a second, my darling. We'll find it. We'll find it. Are you on here, Mrs. Marie? Oh, and there, if you want to read my bio, you see me right there. And you can read my bio, and you can also see my reviews. So let me find that where you're looking, my darling. It should be under, oh, I think it is under the video readings. Here we are. Here we are. So you scroll down here to the bottom, and then there's a little arrow here to the right. There we go. So you see there's the hidden deck. I actually wrote an ebook for the hidden deck. This is for the Kipper deck. It's pretty cool looking. So there's the hidden deck there. There's the Kipper deck. There's bracelets. I have one deck of those. The Laura Twan cards I no longer have, but I have one deck. Each of these old style Lenormands. Oh, no, they're out of stock. Sorry. And I've got one deck left of the Kippers. There, if you continue to go, you're going to see there are journals. There, you can keep a journal of readings and so forth. And then there are the downloadable Cartomancy book and the tarot book right here. So each one of them. Okay. So I hope that helps. Hope that helps. So you just go on over to where it says shop, and then you, let me see. Let me stop sharing this for a second, and then I can read your questions. Okay. Angie, I have a question. I plan on making a gift which will hopefully be done by about Christmas if all goes well. And I was wondering how to send it, given that it will not come from Amazon. I don't have a way, unless, I mean, if I get moved, then I will be getting a post box. But until then, oh, look what we have here. Little Miss Tough, whoa. Another spider. I'm going to have to get up there and really clean this out. This little guy is bigger than a minute. And they're little red. What the heck is going on here? I know I got this one. I wanted to show him to you, but maybe he's just too little and disintegrated. Hey, who needs Halloween decorations? But they come down from this, and you know it's that time of the year, the weather is cooling off. So guess what Zelda's going to do after the stream? They don't have a place here. Goodbye. I don't know where they're planning on going when they drop down, but they must love it. All right, so the Goodmans. Hi, my darlings. Thank you so much for being here. Love you to reading sometime. Mrs. G. Well, Mrs. G, I am at your disposal. I would love to do that for you as well. I would love that. Okay, my darlings. I am open to anything apart from the bad stuff. Well, my darling, me too. Me too. I don't do the Ouija board, Ouija, or Ouija, or actually it's pronounced Ouija. I don't do the Ouija boards, Ouija boards. I don't do any of that stuff. So found it. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, my darling. Let me do no more stories. Well, that was a big enough one. It's almost been 2 giveaway. Here we are. Let's see, which reading did you say was the one that went through your life? And it's a tarot path. It's the tarot path reading. And let me explain about the tarot path. Once you get the tarot path, it doesn't change. The tarot path is, I do a little numerology based on your birthday, and then pick the corresponding card that goes with that number. And then from there, I pick out from each suit in the tarot the corresponding card that goes along with that. So it's a reading that won't change because it's your tarot life path. So it starts in the beginning when you were here, and it will go until one day you are called away. And that's how that is. So it's a tarot life path. The moon phase readings, I have people order those all the time, and I don't mind doing them, but they rarely change as well because they are there for based on the phase that your moon was in. It's not an astrology, but it's got a little bit of the numerology. It's got a little bit of everything in it, but it doesn't really change that much. It will to some degree. So there you go. Nate, I find communities who believe in alternative that normal are more respectful also. This chat prime example. Yes, I believe in being respectful. Just like when I'm doing these Charlie Kirk readings, why would I not want to be respectful? This man lost his life. It doesn't matter if we agree or not. He was taken in a very tragic situation. Why not? I mean, why be ugly? And I'll tell you what, I want to, thank you so much, Bad to the Bone. I want to address a little baby elephant in the room and hope that I don't have Miss Tuffet drop again. As you probably know, there's been a lot of drama, toxicity, hurt feelings, upset, anxiety, tears, crash outs, as they say, a lot of lashing out over the past few days. And I want to say this. I'm not involved, nor I plan to get involved. I did read a little bit about the circumstance, but that is all going to come out in the wash. What I want to do, and I appreciate this community, is I want to concentrate on the big stuff. I don't want to be involved with people. Now, a lot of these people I don't know personally, but I know of them. I follow some. Some of them I are members of their channels, but I don't believe in lashing out at people. If there's something that is going on, take care of it in private. I've always been that way. You praise in public and you reprimand in private. Get it worked out. Don't air your dirty laundry. Don't do anything, as my grandmother and mother would say, that you don't want published on the front news or front page of the Sunday paper. If you want something to go away, don't talk about it. Don't feed the fire. If there is a stray, he will only stay because you feed it. When you feed negativity, it's going to manifest negativity. Remember, negative breeds negative, positive breeds positive. It's okay to have an opinion. It's okay to think a particular certain way. There's nothing wrong with that. You should be able to do that. Getting involved is not something that I feel is a good practice. And here is the reason why. Because sometimes we deal with people that it doesn't matter. They live to be on these social media or media sites that hurt people. They say things because they can. They hide behind accounts to hide who they really are. And I feel that it's very unfortunate where you're on the receiving end of someone who wants to hammer you into a position where it hurts so bad you spend days and nights crying. It's almost as though there's no holds barred. I am on Twitter. I post a few things here and there announcing my channels, but I don't get involved. I've been asked and I refused. I'm not going to do it. I don't mind if anybody calls me any names. If somebody thinks that I'm a grifter or a con artist, so be it. They are entitled to their opinion. But where we get in trouble is that sometimes when we feel that we have to defend ourselves, we have to step up one more plate and we have to defend ourselves until the absolute bone-biting, bitter end. And the sad part is, it doesn't matter, because sometimes you're dealing with a person that it doesn't matter. They love the idea to hurt people because they can. It's like texting bad things because you don't have to face people. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in hurting people just because you can. I hope that everyone can put it together and sit back and think about the most important things. And what are those? The murderers of Officer John O'Keefe is still walking free. The murderers of, and I say plural because to me, someone who covers information that they already know has a particular amount of responsibility, and that of Sandra Birchmore and her child is, I don't know what's going on there, but was supposed to have a hearing October 6th, and it's been moved again. So he must be singing like a canary, because there's unaliving penalty on the table. And unless he gives enough information, it's over for that guy. As, in my opinion, it probably should be. We still have the murderers of Enrique Delgado Garcia. I hope I said that correctly. If I didn't, my apologies. Who are still walking around free. The people who know what happened and his family have been tortured since we lost him, and it's been over a year. So I believe that we need to pull up our little panties, act like somebody, ask for forgiveness, be forgiving, and move on. And let the chips fall where they may. Because my policy here on this channel is, I do not and will not accept drama. Not that any of you guys are wonderful. I'm going to say I've got the best chat in the tubes. But we're not playing that here. And that's not what my channel is about. I keep my opinions to myself because I believe in being respectful to people, because regardless, they deserve the respect. Why? Because when you give someone respect, it is a reflection on you, regardless of how anybody else takes it. And if they really don't deserve the respect, then respect everyone enough to say nothing. That's the way I believe. So, with that being said, I want to thank you for allowing me, because I'm not going to crash out. I have no receipts except the ones that you see here from my little gifts. And I'll tell you what, I'll take these notes any day of the week. Everybody can have their opinion about me. I don't mind. That's what makes the world go around. And you know what they say about opinions? We've all got one. So it's okay. It'll work. It'll work. It'll work. So now back to reality. That's why we need a P.O. box. Yes, ma'am. I'm going to be getting it. Yes, yes, yes. Let me see. Let me see. The cards, just the one card deck. The Lenormand decks are no longer available. I don't have those anymore. The Kipper, I have one deck. There you go. Is killing a spider bad luck? Not when he's dropping in front of me, my darling. It's every man for himself. So thank you, but you know, he's little enough that I don't know where he's going to be crawling, and I don't do spiders. So, and I don't want my kitties. I don't know if he's poisonous or not. The little red ones. I don't know what the heck that is. It looked like a little crab. All right. Lady Zelda has her own Halloween deck. That's right. Why have a why need that? I know I love those cards, but I think they are just her. Oh, the House of Zelda. Oh, my darling. Listen, they take a long time to make, and it takes a special printer, ink. It takes special card backing. It takes a minute. And I cut them all myself. They are not manufactured like any place to put them on anything like Amazon or something like that. They're delicate. You got to take care of them. They'll last forever. I've had mine now, I think, I don't know, a year, and they're in very good shape. But they're tough to make. They really are tough to make, and sometimes I just don't have the time. But I'm getting there. Maybe we'll do something for Christmas. Maybe. Oh my. Well, God bless your son. I think if spiders were just, if he was like contained, but the whole idea now, I have two that is coming down. No, we're not trying it again, because they come over from this vent from upstairs. And then, so, I mean, I have my own decorations. That's right. Okay, let me see here. Thank you so much. No, I don't like Ouija boards. I don't do the Ouija boards at all. Let me catch up, because I know all of you are talking and I love it. Oh, spider signifies a strong period of manifestation, encouraging you to be mindful of your thoughts and words. Oh, well, since I just squished him, let's hope that doesn't. But thank you. Listen, I have been manifesting like a wild woman around here. I have my little, and I'm going to talk about it Monday night. Be there. Aloha. Manifestation Monday. And I might have some things that I want to start announcing. Because the manifestation, listen, it is off the charts and going fantastic. And I'm here to encourage you, because you can be doing the same thing. So thank you so much. Is it better to get any kind of reading close to a birthday for you? Don't know what you really mean. Is it better to get any kind of reading close to a birthday? You can do a reading anytime. Just so I know your birthday, in case you come up, your specific card comes up. So there you are. So if that's not what you mean, let me know. My mom gave me a deck, had to ask her, what does smudging them mean? She smudged every card. Yeah, you gotta sage. I do salt. I don't do sage a lot. I'm a salt girl. And iron. And if you ever want to know where you get a little bit of iron from, you know something? If y'all are sewers, you know, needle and thread, most of the needles are made of iron. For me, I sew, but they're too flimsy. I like steel because they're sharper and they go, you can go through tons of heavy fabric with a steel needle. But um, I do the I do the I have iron needles, and that helps you if you put your iron needles out, and that helps with bad energy. Honey, I've done a reading on Jean Benet. It is on True Oracle. I haven't done one in a long time. There's been a lot of changes. But I do have a reading on Jean Benet on this channel. Thank you though for asking. Let me see if there's anything else. Cool images. Daisy, hi. Katie Q, hi. Really enjoying your readings in your channel. Thank you so much. I'm presuming that you are new here, and I just love it when new people come in. Thank you so much. There's the noodle boy. Let me see. He's not interested in getting any spider. Who knows what these guys eat? Is it better to get a reading on or close to your? Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Anytime. Not one time is not better than the other. So anytime you want to is good. Melissa, I agree. And you don't know. And they've got those brown recluse spiders around here. No. But, it's fall. And my son sprayed around the condo a little bit. And we didn't see things for a while. But, Cheryl says, unfortunately, all the evidence was lost or destroyed. Even if someone was to talk, it's unlikely they will be convicted. I don't think so. If I may respectfully disagree, I've seen cases be dormant for a long time and then all of a sudden, and I want to give you a little hint. Ouch, ouch, ouch. He's got fingernails. Let me see. Shaggy always appears when I join. Has nothing to do with me. Well, he knows your energy, my darling. Of course. Of course. I'll send you a sunset. It's a month. There you go. There you go. I'll take the sunsets. Kat Randall always sends me a sunsets on Twitter, and I appreciate it because I love that time of day. There's no statute of limitations on the M word, and that's very right. Thank you so much. Oh, they'll get to the bottom of it because somebody will be singing, and it won't be in a choir. Believe me, because the pressure will be getting to them. It'll be amazing. I said also hope they allow me. I think they will. I think they will. Sammy does come up when things get interesting. There you go. She does come up when things get interesting. I don't know what this man is looking at. Let's see. Let me catch up on everything here. Okay, what do you do with the iron needles? With new cards? Wait, I don't think I understand. New cards? Iron needle? I've talked about using iron in investigations, as in that can really help ward off evil. Sometimes I've made, for you sewers out there, I've made a little, cotton-filled little something, and then you stick your needles in there and it helps to store them. Well, sometimes what I'll do is I'll wrap some needles together with a piece of black thread All it takes is one needle. You just thread it, and then you wrap the needle, and you put your cards in a box, and then you put the needle on top of your box. You close it up, and then you let it sit there for about 48 hours. I use salt. I don't buy used decks. I've been given a few. I'm going to tell you a weird one. There is a, wait a minute. Give me a second. I'm going to see if I can find it. No, it's behind the green screen. I don't want to take it down. I placed a big order for some other things on Amazon. And out of the blue, they sent me a deck, a tarot card deck, Amazon, that was used. You could tell because the cards were not in, because when you get a tarot card deck, they're always in succession. 1111 there, Nate. Hey, there you go. There are 2 or 3 cards missing. I didn't keep them because who knows? Who knows? And they know that I am a nobody. Come on, we're not playing that. They know that I am a card reader because my orders are under Psychic Zelda Kelly, and I'm constantly getting tarot cards. So I don't do that. So no, I don't keep them. How do I know? Let me see. Thank you, Caroline K. You are adorable. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the story tonight. It's a sad one, but you know, it's not as exciting as what it was last week, but it was a good one. Silver threads and golden needles cannot mend this heart of mine. I love that song. And little Linda Reinstadt. How can you tell if a needle is made of iron? That's a great question. A needle made of iron will bend. It will bend and sometimes break, and you have to be careful. The steel ones are rigid. They're like hard as bone. And that's why I use them to sew. But if you're buying them at a sewing shop like Joann Fabrics or something like that, or on Amazon, you can see, if you buy them, you can literally see they'll say iron or steel. So there you go. Is it okay to keep a used card deck and clean them? You know what? If you know where they came from, sure, why not? What I've done is I take a black cloth and I'll put salt on the bottom. There's a little rhyme here. I'm going to say, yes, a magnet too. Thank you very much. Absolutely. Try a magnet. But here's a little rhyme that you use and that I use for salt. And that is, salt doesn't hurt. Salt doesn't lie. Salt will only purify. You wrap up your little card deck and you leave it go, and that should be okay. There you go. Same here. If they were used, let me see. If they were used, Zelda, thank you very much. You could, if they were used cards, you could. I will guarantee you could trust them. Yes. You could trust them. Very much so. Very much so. Salt, absolutely. I've used sage, and sometimes sage will enrage someone. Olive oil is my favorite. Plus, I bless water. I bless my olive oil, and I'll take that with me. I have little vials that before I go out to a place, if you go out with me, when you see my show, when we get it going, if you'll see me, we will bless. I will bless everyone with the oil of our people, olive oil. Works wonders. They do have a lot of energy. I've had some things happen with tarot cards before. No, sir. Goodbye. He wants to come up here. Did your mother ever say the word waller? Because that's what this man wants to do. He wants to come up and just waller on me, and I can't hack that. Let me see. They do have, let me tell you a little story about, I have a deck of cards. You don't see them often. I call them the old boy. The old boy tarot cards are really, really something because they give me some meanings and they look worse for wear. But wow, sometimes the older cards get. In fact, I used a Cartomancy deck from the Great Smoky Mountains from a gift shop that when you first drove into Gatlinburg, no longer there. It was a bookstore, and I got a deck of cards from there, and they were not plastic coated, of all things. I had those cards probably 10 years. Finally, one day I was shuffling and they just started falling apart. And I'm going to tell you, it was like having a funeral for a friend. I bawled for days, and I mean bawled for days, because these cards I had used so much. It was like I could say 2 or 3 words and out the meanings would come, and it was just phenomenal. That little reddish orange deck that you see me use, he's kind of getting that way. He's kind of getting that way. Kind of. He's getting there. But the old boy, it's a deck that I've got a long time ago. Thank you, Miss Jules. It's a deck, yes, Nate, olive oil from the Bible, James chapter 5, I think. Blessed with the oil of our people. What is the oil of our people? It is olive oil. You bless olive oil. Very good stuff. So I had this deck and I was reading with it. It's got the blue hatch on the back. I know many of you have probably seen that pattern. I was reading right here in my space. I don't carry my cards around the house. I don't even take them in my bedroom. I keep them separately. Like at night, like when we're done here, pardon me, I will be done with my cards and I will put them away. I've got little, whatever. And now y'all are sending me these beautiful gifts like this stuff. I'll be able to pack them away. They belong to be. I've got them lined up in boxes. I keep them in their original boxes. So I'm reading and I come back and the cats they're not allowed. And when I'm not sitting here, they're not roaming around. They're in the same room that I'm in. I went to the kitchen and I had a young lady from Australia living with us for a little while. She was a gamer and a friend of my son. So she had one room. I had another, and my son had another. And I said, I need a snack. When do I not need a snack? I need a snack. I went from this room into the kitchen, came back, and my cards looked like they were like pushed. And I thought, uh-oh. Anytime in a place like that, what I'll do is I will count 78 cards or 36, depending on what I'm using. My card has 44 in them. And they only had 77. I turned this house upside down. That young lady came in. We lifted up the sofa. I was like a mad woman. I lifted up everything. I got my vacuum cleaner out and thinking, well, if it fell, it will stick to the end of the rod. I'll find the card. Not around. It was months. Seriously, months. I came out of my room And here on the floor was the card. And it was the magician card, which I call the manifestation card. Face up, like it greeted me. And I'm like, oh. There was another time that I had another deck. I'll show it to you. It was this deck. This is my teaching deck. You can see I've written on them because I believe in writing on your cards if you're learning. And at that time I was giving classes, and it was a teaching deck. So I had cards out on my table. I came back, I went to the water closet, came back, and my cards were soaked. Soaked. As in, looked like, so, and I don't keep drinks on my tables or anything that I read on or anything like that. The cats were not, the cats couldn't have done it. It didn't smell like anything. They were soaked. I grabbed them up. I had to clean them up. Believe me, they've been through enough salt that it's been, whatever. I don't know what it was. I got rid of it. Didn't come back, but that's when we first moved in here. And this joint here that we're in right now, this Airbnb, as we get closer to Halloween, I will share some very unnerving things that both my son and I have seen. So there's been some things. Okay, so there's some questions. I love that. Mitchell, do the tarot cards get inhabited by spirits? Not mine. Maybe somebody else's, but not mine. It's an energy thing. And believe me, I would know by touching the cards and putting them out. Never. The one thing I never allow anyone else to touch my cards. Like, some readers will say, here, go ahead and shuffle the deck. No. I don't do that. I don't let people cut the deck. I don't let people choose a card. Nothing. That's my energy. I don't want that. Here's the perception of how a card works. If you're reading for someone, and it doesn't matter, they can be in person, they can be wherever. What you're doing is you're both focusing on the card reading, and that helps the cards to come out. Sometimes what will happen, and when I was working for Psychic Friends, I was busy, steady, but I wasn't busy enough. I would go in. I like to wash my hands every time I do a card reading. Sometimes it doesn't happen. Sometimes I have to have cloths. I have a cloth that I can wipe my hands, get rid of that energy, and start over. Because I don't want the energy of the last person to come on the deck. And that brings me, and Jack, I see your question. It's a great question. Give me a second. But that gives me another thing that I want to share with you. And now that I forgot it, I'll go to Jack's question. Sorry, that was me. I got distracted there for a moment. Jack, hi there, my darling. Have you ever cleared or energized a deck of cards using a Himalayan singing bowl? Cleared the deck. And it was amazing because not only did it clear the deck, it cleared me as well. So wish I had one of those, but it was amazing. So yes, it was totally amazing. That was a great question too. Totally. Didn't know if I was purging a spirit or a reaction from. That is a good thing. To be that aware, to be wondering if you do that or not. So yeah, I was sick in the morning and then I was fine. Probably got a little something hanging there behind you. Debbie, hi there. I've only ever bought one used deck, but it was a Piotnik. Worth it. You know what? I don't think as long as you're not, I wouldn't get one from like the Goodwill or something, maybe. It depends on what it is. Some of the Piotnik decks are very rare now, so I don't have anything against it at all. I'm just saying if you use it, make sure it's cleared. I love Piotnik decks. I love the deck that I have. But some of them are really rare. I've had mine for a long time. I hope I think of that. It was a really good little thing that I wanted to share with you, but we'll see what it. Oh look, here's Miss here. Okay, sorry, your question went back up again. She stepped on the key. Mrs. Kravitz, hi there, darling. I'm absolutely love when your speech has a hiccup and you sing through it. It cracks me up. Well, that seems like it's more than not lately. Thank you, though. I'm glad that you do because you know what? Why not? Listen, we are here to have fun. Sometimes life gets a little too extreme, don't you think? Yeah, we're supposed to be having fun. Kylie says, "Oh yes, olive oil. Let's has a lot of great properties, all sorts of reasons. I always have some handy on my countertop. It's not just for cooking. That is correct. However, I don't need a kiss now, but thank you. However, you don't want to cook with the olive oil that you bless. And you don't want to, yeah, you don't want to bless with the olive oil that you cook. You have there's that extra spot there that you've got that extra thing. Sam, you have my hair in your mouth because I can feel it. Big girl. Mommy's girl. She's a puppy. She's a puppy. I need a snack too. Somebody asked me what was for dinner. I'll tell you. I have it'll be ready probably in another 20 or 30 minutes. I have in the crock pot chopped steak with onion, mushroom, garlic gravy. Bless you, Angel. And then I have the little potatoes that have been boiled in a beef broth and butter and goody herbs, and it's good to begin with. That's even better, I think. And then some green beans with a little bit of minced onion and butter. Hello. A little bit of onion, minced butter, and that's enough because I'm going to be up for a little while, so I may as well not. So yes, I love my crock pot. I do too. I'm running to get chili. You know what? If I were to have chili, I like Wendy's. Wendy, for those of you watching and not in the United States, don't know Wendy's is a hamburger joint. I actually like Wendy's chili. I actually like it. Ohio, Palm Mom, hi there. Love using my crock pot. Listen, it's a staple around this joint. My son and I have different schedules, and it's a must. It is a must. Mitchell reminds me of an old joke. Lady says her diamond ring has a Piotnik curse. What's the Piotnik curse? She said, Mr. Piotnik. That's a good one. That's a good one. Thank you. Give me a second. I'm afraid to use these napkins around here. Heck, they might have a spider lurking. Yikes. And don't forget, everyone, Fear Fest is on. Let me check and see. I'm seeing some. Oh, give me a second here. We've got to say hello to Rosebud. Send a super sticker. Thank you so much, darling, for your generosity. I appreciate you so much. It keeps the channels going because StreamYard is pricey. Everything is pricey, but I appreciate it. Thank you. I'm here to be with you because I love doing what I'm doing. Sherry D, thank you so much for the generosity. My very first pair of nice, expensive shoes. Spirit took one. Never ever to be found. Are the Yankees going to win tonight? You know, I don't know. I mean, I haven't given it a lot of thought and I'm distracted. Why do I want to say no? But I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Mrs. Goodman says they have great chili, and Mr. G gets so mad. Right? There you go. I do. Oh, Denise, my mother calls our cats puppies too. Yeah, they're just little pups. They're just little pups. And if I have a little pup, or if I'm with a pup, I'll say, boy, you're the cutest little kitty going. I don't know what that is. I remember, so funny, reminds me of sometimes we would go to family, and my sister and I are only like 16 months apart in age. And we would go, my mother would dress us alike. Everybody thought we were twins. I was the prettier one. No, no, everybody thought we were twins. And um, you know, so the old boys in the family, we would go around and they'd look at us. I remember Uncle Ted, he would look at us and he'd go, "Hello, boys. How you doing, boys?" And oh, we would just be burned up because we would have these little dresses on. We would think that we looked so cute. And he'd say, "Hello, boys. How are you?" And we'd stand there, "We're not boys." Pitiful. Kylie says, "Zelda, I have a fun story for you. When I was pregnant with my daughter, and guess what number one craving was? A cheeseburger from Wendy's, some large. Oh, listen, when I was with my daughter, I craved cream cheese and wheat thins. I would take a box and a bar to work with me because I was the assistant agriculture agent for my county for a while. And I would take those wheat thins and I would eat that until one day it made me sick, and it was a long time before I could eat cream cheese. But I love it. Wendy's chili, yes. Yes. I worked at Wendy's. If you knew how they made that chili. Okay. Mary, Zelda, I've learned so much from you. Thank you for being an incredible teacher. Thank you for saying that. I don't view myself as a teacher. I just want to share what I'm doing. Just want to share what I'm doing. I loved their chili when I was pregnant. It was hilarious. That, and I actually craved the Chuck E. Cheese cotton candy. Oh, right. And I would go to them just to buy it. You're right. I am a cotton candy nutcase. Well, maybe not that bad, but I really like it. I really like it. Tilly 440, your cats are amazing, especially your amazing Sammy is so amazing. Thank you so much. She is amazing. She's a puppy. She's my old girl. And my son laughed because one of you bought us these toys that comes with this little tunnel, and they play with that all the time. And in that came a wire that, oh, I don't know, is maybe 3 feet long, that's safe, but it's got a handle on the end, and on the other end there's some feathers and a bell. These guys went practically out of their minds, except this one was sitting on top of a sofa back here on the cushion. And she just kept looking. I could tell she was doing this, when you do this whole thing, she was doing this, a fishy thing. Finally, I said, my son was in here, and I was just cracking up laughing because Shaggy was doing flips, and they were all like, and Riley is funny because when he gets serious, he purses his mouth to where his whiskers will go forward, like he's doing this. And he was doing this. Finally, I said, "Hey, we better go over to the geriatric center and make sure this one's played." My son said, "Mom, don't call Sammy the Jerry." I said, "Well, she is. She's my old girl. She fits in with me very well." So yes, we are the geriatric center together, right, sister? We are. I can tell when she gets mad. She's okay now because see, there's a little pink nose, but when she gets mad, that nose turns black as coal, right? Yes, I'm talking about you. Funny girl. Funny girl. Honey, it's okay. No worries. No worries. It's fine. Let me see here. Okay, let me see. Yankees are leading 4-0 at the bottom of the fourth. See, I don't know anything. Why ask a psychic? Thank you, Pam. I don't know. I like baseball. I used to have season tickets to the Cleveland Indians back then, until it's been a while. I loved it. Let me see. Working at Macca's, I did there too. At high school and through uni, lots of pregnant ladies would come through the drive-through for pickles, not on burgers. Just, oh my gosh, isn't that amazing? That's so funny. Oh my gosh, Kylie, Taylor Swift. We've got a Swiftie in the house. There you go. Maggie Smith, darling, I appreciate you connecting with us. I appreciate your gift. Thank you so much. You are amazing. Thank you. I love Wendy's chili. Yes, it is good. Now I'm hungry for Wendy's chili. Forget what I've got in the crock pot right now. I've got to eat it. Sherry, I never get on the Book of Faces, but I saw a friend request from Cheryl, and I thought, oh my gosh, did I respond a while back? I don't know. Cheryl with an S. Okay. Give me a second. We've got something here that I don't want to. Look at this. I'm Gumby, darn it. Sent a super sticker. You are amazing. Thank you so much for your generosity, my darling. Thank you. Thank you. Green beans and watermelon. A healthy pregnancy at that. Very good. Uh-oh. Do we want to know how they make that at Chili's? Well, let me say this. When I worked there 102 years ago, they would take the meat that was left over for the day and they would put it on the grill till it just cooked until, and they would take the big spatula and they would cut it on the grill until it went into nothing. Then they put it into a bowl. And they would do that actually. And even during the lunch service or the dinner service, if the meat got too old and it was on the grill too much, they would click, 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 and put it in the bowl. They would end up putting so much into this silver, the serving thing that they use in restaurants with the little lid on it. They would make their chili a week later, and that meat would still be in the refrigerator. I guess it's okay. I mean, maybe that's why it tastes so good. But they would only make their chili like maybe once or twice a week. Take it out, put it in the refrigerator, and they would put it in the refrigerator hot, so it could have just been that location, could have just been that store. I don't know. But I don't care because I still love their chili. So whatever. Let me see. Reading, and that basically blew my mind for the rest of the week. I'm assuming this feels like to be closer to 40 than 30. Oh, I missed that one. Okay, but it's okay. Buy cotton candy in those canisters. I know. See, we don't have to. Do you know that Chuck E. Cheese is haunted? A lot of those locations are haunted. I would not take your kid there. Pretty much beyond yesterday. Yeah. Let me see. Maggie says, I was a weird kid, still don't like cotton candy, and like my snow cones plain without syrup. Well, I don't think that's weird. I mean, you never know. Till you try it, you might like it, right? There you are. I love Publix too. Okay, goodbye now. You going for a train piece? Sam was feral when I first got her. Outside kitten. Mama left her. She had a sister, couldn't catch her sister. Then the neighbors ended up with her sister. Sammy has chronic sinusitis. I have to she's constantly sneezing. Hello, she and I get along. I'm constantly blowing my nose. She's constantly doing her things. And all the amounts of antibiotics and everything, I've tried a lot of things that I've given her. And she goes for it. So she's over there sneezing right now. Okay. Have I ever heard of the Ellen Greenberg case? I don't know, but there's a case of greenback, Virginia, that I'm going to tell that story. So I'm not going to even tell what it is. Boo, those Yankees. All right, let me see here because we want to have that giveaway. Gimme. All right. Everybody hang in there. Martha, I'm having a huge issues with my email. Take a few hours to get it fixed. I'm going to attempt to fix it this weekend. There you go. You'll get it fixed. I'm Sicilian. Love to cook. It's in my blood. That depends on who you ask. And 37. And you know what? I like square cut pizza. That is Sicilian. I don't like the triangles. I want a square. Don't know what it is. To me, it tastes better. That's weirdness. Miss Jessica, you should come hang out with us, the Red House Media, sometime. Where is that? I'd love to come and hang out with you at the. Can I do it from here? Do you have a show or something? Let me know. I have an air fryer, Cheryl with an S says, in my oven, but still prefer the countertop one. Yes, sometimes you just can't be bothered. Let me see. Let me get through this. Let me see. Tilly 444, listen, you're so beautiful. Thank you. Amazing mods in this channel. Thank you. My mods are very amazing. They do an excellent job. And believe me, sometimes it's thankless. It's a thankless job because they've got a tough job to do. I'm working on my recipes. Hopefully I can get those out soon. Yes, Chuck E. Cheese. 3, I've been to all 3. Sometimes they have unalivings at Chuck E. Cheese and these animatronics type things. Oh, listen, there's backstories on this place. Cassandra, welcome, my darling. New to YouTube. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. Worked at Nutcracker Sweets at the South Street Seaport in New York City. Loved making cotton candy. Isn't that fun? Love it. Okay, let's get ready for a let's get ready for the square pizza in Rome. Also a lot. Folded over also means some, yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm very picky and finicky about my pizza. I can't do the Pizza Huts and the Papa John's I make my own. I make my own gravy or sauce to put on it. I do my little toppings. I do what, Why can't we donate to the moms? You can. Okay, my darling, give me a second here. Do me a favor, please. Like and subscribe. It's free because I love having you here. So now, I'm going to tell you what the prize is tonight. And I hope you love this because everybody that I've given these to, they absolutely love them. It is, let me move this this thing. Let me move it. There we are. My darlings, this is the prize for tonight and will be every Thursday and maybe even Saturday nights. I'm working on it until we get to the Halloween, and maybe even beyond. I'm going to tell you what this is. It is Beacon, streaming beacontv.com. They do have an app on Roku. I'm going to tell you of all of the streaming services that are paranormal related. This is probably the most authentic, and they do it sort of kind of like I do, the most authentic paranormal investigation. Who they have a psychic medium whose name is Cindy Kaza, but this is Shane Pittman and David Schrader. And if you can remember the Discovery Channel, there was a show called The Holzer Files. That's this group. And they have a brand new series out. It's called Paranormal Mysteries. And I'm telling you, one of the times that I heard an audible, without any assistance, an audible woman's voice, it was amazing, amazing. So that is the gift. It's for 1 month. I'm giving it to you for 1 month. If you like it, you can subscribe. If you don't, you don't have to. Now, the winners, my darlings, will, after you've won, email me and say, I'm the winner, and give me your screen name so I know who you are, okay? And that's it. Then what I'll do is I'll return your little code for you. And this has movies on it. It's got good paranormal. It's got UFOs, Bigfoot, paranormal investigations. It's amazing. I could spend hours. I have spent hours on here. And this Paranormal Mysteries is a series. So as of tomorrow, they'll come out with another one. I believe it's tomorrow they come out with another one. So you don't want to miss this. Okay? So one lucky winner from this giveaway will receive that. All right? Well, thank you. Despite injustice, I'm so glad that you're here for the giveaway. All right. So let me put this in. You're welcome, my darlings. You're welcome. You're welcome. Let me call you sweetheart. Let me get this done. Like I said, I can tell the future, but this StreamYard stuff kind of gets to me every now and then. All right. Let me see. Share the screen. Of course, we have to share the screen. There's the giveaway tool. There we are. Now, my darlings, here's what you're going to do. This can be lowercase, uppercase. It doesn't make any difference. This is, put it in the chat only one time. Let me see where my hashtag is. In fact, yeah, I have to put a hashtag there. Look out, sister. All right. Hashtag HOZ. That is uppercase, but it doesn't have to be. It's hashtag HOZ House of Zelda. Let's go. Put her in the chat, my darlings. We're getting ready to have our drawing. Thank you so much. Here we go, as a cheering. Whee! House of Zelda, either lowercase. Pam, you want to put it in again, darling. You didn't get the 0 right. So it's 0. Don't put, it's not a 0, it's an O. House of Zelda. Don't put a 0, you won't get entered. Okay, let's go. We're up to 30 some already. Wonderful. Wonderful. How exciting. You guys are wonderful. I can't wait to see who wins. Bless Bless you, Riley.
Mama's angel.
Haas long for Haas. There you go, Kylie. Here we are, my darlings. Keep her going. Keep her going. HOZ, House of Zelda. We're going to start doing some fun things. Now, next week, I'm going to start incorporating some really fun things for House of Zelda. We're going to be talking about the real Dracula, mummy, zombie, werewolf. Then I've got the podcast, the interview coming up with a real Dracula from the Vale Keep Castle. Love it. Kylie, thank you so much. Hold on. And oh, by the way, you're on a roll with your readings. I think I said on one of the other Massachusetts chats the other day, Zelda was right. Oh, what was I right about? What was I right about? It does not have to be capitalized, either one. I don't know what I was right about. Oh, by the way, oh, thank you, Kylie. Thank you. Sometimes I'm not so right, but thank you. Some of the, on the Turtle Boy, thank you. Some of the new people coming in and they're watching Charlie Kirk readings that I'm doing on True Oracle, and they're kind of appalled with me because they're not used to me. Because they're not used to me asking, they're like, well, you're just repeating everything that the media says. Yes, I am. Then I take it one step further and I say, is that right? Or is that wrong? Can you tell us this? Can you tell us that? So that's what a profiler does. That's what I've been doing. So slice and dice. Let me see. Intent. The Turtle Boy card reading, you are spot on. Other people unknown pulling strings. Yeah. Thank you, Andrea. I didn't know you watch them, but thank you so much. I appreciate it. Patty, thank you so much. Zelda, the Charlie Kirk video you did today was something else amazing. Thank you. And stand by. Thank you, Michelle. Stand by because we're going to be doing some spirit box EVPs with the Charlie Kirk energy. And I know that offends a lot of people because they're like, no, he's got to rest in peace. Leave him alone. It's the same thing as John. They're already gone. They are busy. But the energy is looping and that it imprints. If any time there is a tragedy like this, that's a tragedy where it ends up in something like this. It will loop. It will loop. And then immediately we'll move on one day. John's energy has not moved on. Oh, I know what I was going to tell you all. Yeah, those recordings sounded AI. Can I tell you something? Everything that I feel is fudged. It's somebody wanting to hurt somebody else. Fudged. F. Just remember the F word. It's not the one that Canton uses all the time. Fudged. Fudge is the opposite word. There's some things that are fudged to hurt both those people, to put them in jail, revoke bonds, to hurt them, because people are not so happy that there's a good possibility that Aiden's cases can go zippity-doo-dah out the window. So there's got to be something more that somebody dreams up. And believe me, when you're that pitiful that you're lying in wait on a social media, that you have to jump on the bandwagon and go for the jugular, forget it. That's just nutcase stuff, in my opinion. Don't get involved, you're going to see that this is going to come out in the wash because the truth always does. Okay, so let me see. Unalived, 3 others injured, synagogue in Manchester. Oh yeah, I know. 2 things. Let me write this down so I don't forget. And I want to thank everybody for these gifts too. You guys are amazing. All right, let me write this down because there's 2 things I want to tell you. How we doing on here? Come on, everybody. If you're watching, if you just do me a favor and subscribe to the channel and enter. You don't have to, but I would love it if you did. Well, there were a few little recordings that came out. Nothing, but somebody just took them and ran. And, there's all this witness intimidation. Well, let's think about it. Who likes to scream that? Who likes to scream witness intimidation? Yeah. Exactly. On readings, you learn the information that was put out there. Candace is certainly onto something, I think so. But you have to have a ground. I can't sit here and just go, oh, blah, 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 because there's some things I won't say. But you have to have a foundation. You have to have a starting point. And as Charlie's energy gets used to me, just like with John's, those readings will start really becoming epic. All right, so let me see. I saw part of Nurse Kim. I saw part of JFK, and I just think it's very sad because I know these people down deep inside care about everybody. Slice and Dice, thank you so much for becoming a new member. Welcome. Hello. Wait a minute. Got to give you cheering. Are we about done? I'm going to leave it up there just for a second. Yes, Jen does lurk in the shadows, and we know why. The other thing is the sentencing for the grand jury juror who was running her cake hole, or actually pie hole, to friends about many things, was sentenced today and was very upset because she got more than a little smack. She got time served for 1 day in the jug. She has 2 months of house confinement. That means she can't be running around. She can't be running the streets for 2 months. Pardon me. And, pardon me, I don't know what happened. And 24 months probation. I was wondering how somebody could do something that serious and then just get a day in the life of a jail, and then boom, tick, slap, 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 smacky, smacky. Okay, you're on your way. This way, I guess she'll remember it. This way, hello, can you stop? Buddy, stop. 60-day staycation, absolutely. Enjoy yourself. Get another streaming service, baby. I mean, I think she can go to work and that sort of thing, but, goodbye. Get off there, Shag. Yes, she got spanked. Yeah, she's going to remember. She went to the woodshed on this one. Mrs. Kravitz is a new member. Yay! Yay! There we go. So last call, my darlings. Oh, did she get fired from her job? Oh, well. So I'm sorry. I have a hard time feeling sorry for people like this. She knows better. No, not that. It's the juror who was yakking from the grand jury, because you're not supposed to be saying anything, sharing anything, and she was sharing things from the grand jury during the Karen Reed, one of those things. I mean, better. Supposed to be, grand jury leaker got fired from DCF Mass. That's right, because she worked for the government. That's right. Thanks for jogging my memory. All right. Too bad all those witnesses that perjured themselves on the stand didn't get. Oh, well, look, life, as long as they're above the ground, and if they're not, they've got a judgment coming anyway. So, hello, zippity lippity. That's right. That's right. Zippity doo dah, zippity a. My, oh my, what a wonderful day. Plenty of sunshine heading my way. Zippity doo dah, zippity a. Mr. Bluebird's on my shoulder. It's a truth, it's factual. Everything is satisfactual. Dip, dip, la, pa. Zippity doo dah, zippity a. A wonderful feeling, wonderful day. That was your little moment there. Let's have a drawing because I think that's about it. All right. Here we go, my darlings. We're drawing. Last call. Let me check. Last call, and not for alcohol. Last call. Okay, this is it. Drawing is here. Thank you, everybody. Here we are. And draw. Thank you, Kylie. Became a member. Bless you, my darling. Thank you. Thank you. Are the subs up? Bentley 77, 77, Sunset Strip. 77. Who remember that? 77, Sunset Strip. Love that song. Sang along. Good, Maggie. Good. You know what? You get up and you sing a little bit song. Sometimes when I get up, and it drives my son crazy. Sometimes when I get up, it's all about, wait a minute, congratulations to Bentley 77. Bentley 77, congratulations. There you go. Now, my email is in the chat, Bentley77. Please email me and say, I'm Bentley77. I'm a winner. And let me write this down. Shaggy, please, Angel. You've got plenty of food. You got water. Wanting to waller. Okay, hold on here. Bentley77 is the winner. And you have won a 1-month subscription, Bentley, to Beacon Stream TV. You're going to love it. And if you get a chance ever, if you guys are on the Twix, look up Shane Pittman. I'm going out of my mind here. Shane Pittman is part owner of Beacon TV, and say, I won this on Zelda's and I love it. Let's tell him that we love it. They're on Facebook, or I'm sorry, on the Book of Faces. They're on the grams that are Insta. And so that's what you've won tonight. And once again, Bentley 77. There you go. I've heard that before. Zelda, you're cheaper than a therapist. Well, I don't have a sofa, but you know what that comes from? Experience, living, understanding human behavior. There we go. You're welcome. But here's the song that I always sing, not always, but when I get up. Oh, it's a new day for singing a song. And it's a new day for moving along. Oh, yes, a new day. How can anything go wrong? A good day from morning till night. I said to the sun, good morning, sun. Rise and shine today. That's it. Okay, this guy's up here because the singing is like attracts these wieners. All right. Yes, they are wieners. All right. There we go. 77 Sunset. Listen, Connie Stephen was a Hubba Hubba girl. I saw a movie that she was in from a while ago, Two on a Guillotine. Do you remember that movie? It always comes out this time of year. Hello. Two on a Guillotine. And it has Dean Jones. Remember Dean Jones? He used to be, I think it was Dean Jones. He used to be in a lot of Disney stuff back in the day, Herbie movies, that sort of thing. But yeah, they're good ones. And don't forget, everybody, Scarefest is on AMC, American Movie Classics. It's Scarefest. Last night was all of the Halloweens. Dun, 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 dun. And I relate because I am a year younger than, oh shoot, what's her name? Flip, I can't even think. Jamie Lee Curtis. So I remember when that movie came out, I can't believe that it is as old as can be. As old as me. So yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis looking fine, sitting there whining because she got attacked by this dude that had this sharp object. And she's standing there in the doorway, and you see this, what's his face, raise up. Uh-oh. And she's standing there. I'd be like, baby, if this thing came in, no. And she puts the knife down. But it wouldn't be a B movie without being a B movie, right? No. You keep that, and you keep the blade up. Hello. And you do what you need to do. Get the business, baby. And then you do like Deputy Not So told me. And you know what it was? Run. You run. I don't care if you got a broken ankle or whatever it is you're limping around with, Jamie. You get up and you run. Because I guarantee if you do have something broken or hurt, you ain't going to feel it. You're going to be running down that road after them kiddos. Hello. Run. You need to be running. That's going to be a thing with this channel. I know it is. Run. Now, I'm going to tell you about the other thing that I want to tell you, and then I have to say goodnight because I have some green beans, some petite potatoes, and some chopped steak with mushroom onion gravy waiting for me. So, yeah, that'd be a jewel kicker, and you know what I mean. So, I'm fixated on getting over to 34 Fairview. Oh, yes, all those vampire shows on Prime. Hello. But I did not like the new what's that guy? Nosferatu. I can't even say that word. And you would think that I could because it's Deutschland. I am writing the cookbook for you, but I'm going to ask them on 34 Fairview. Oh, you'll know it. Nosferatu. Thank you very much, Mitchell. I'm going to ask them if somebody has ever come over and checked the drains. I did not like the new Nosferatu. Did not like it. Mm-mm. Come on. No, Nan and I, because I want to get moved first. I've got some things that I need to do beforehand. The holidays are coming. I don't like to, I want to wait until a few things settle down first because you want to know the truth. These people know who I am. Do you think, I can't go up there. I'm pretty recognizable. They see me haunting the streets of Canton, and guess what's going to happen? They're going to concoct something to get me going. So there we go. But I I want to know in the basement because there's a room that has some utility things in the basement. I think it's got a drain because there was a washer dryer in there. And any time in those houses that are of that age, you have drainage in your basement floor. I'd like to know if somebody checked the drains in their kitchen, in the bathroom, if there's a bathroom downstairs. Because I got to tell you this, it doesn't matter if you've cleaned or if you've used bleach or any of those things, some kind of something sorta can hang around. Do you know that many times in these horrible, horrific cases where people feel that they've cleaned up a scene, they try to wash everything down through the bathtubs, but they don't wash it up good enough. Because all you have to do is have a forensic team or someone go through there. Even take a black light. Go and look in the drains. There you go. There you go. I think that's why they tore them up. But I sure would like to. I want to talk to them. Yes, I'd like to know where the red stuff is. You know why? Let's not forget, because everybody's like, oh well, there's not going to be any justice for John. I'm going to tell you this. That man lost 3 leaders. Where did it go? Where is it? It's got to be somewhere. It could be in the. Wait a minute. Hello. I know you all love this. It could be here.
The garage, essentially. Is a garage, essentially.
Could be in the garage. If it is in the lawn, it could still be there. If it goes deep enough, I certainly would even like to take a cadaver dog. Now, hello, is that getting a little much? Yes, it is. Zelda. Remember who my little sweetheart that I'm sure has gone into heaven right now? Because that's been, I don't know, 30 some years ago. Look who found Elizabeth hanging out in the woods. So there's, if you get a particular certain dog, they can sniff that stuff out. Lady Zelda, one of the New York police streams I follow, there's a CSI guy, and many times a single hair can be stuck in a drain. Bingo. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's right. Quando. Let me see what's going on here in my universe and see if there's anybody else I need to thank, do, whatever. Yes, I do. Thank you so much, Cassandra. Thank you so much, my darling, for the generosity. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, especially cadaver dogs. They can detect if a body was ever there. take him or her out to the front lawn and go from there. I don't know, but you'd have to have permission. And I'm going to tell you, a lot of the cadaver dog trainers don't like to take them out on a particular whim. So they want somebody that is either law enforcement, and we know that won't happen right now. So I don't know. But I don't know if we have any dogs there that we know that are friends. Connecticut, the one that I know is in North Carolina. All we know is we know enough to don't know enough right now, but we do want to know enough. That's all we know. So listen, I'm not giving up on even Enrique. I'm not giving anything on it. That's right. Thank you, Melissa. These sweethearts that God has given us are amazing when they can detect seizures, low blood sugars, alert their owners before they know. I want to tell you this now. Check with a doctor and don't take any chances. But I have to tell you something that I know about cats. Do you know a cat can allegedly, supposedly, not giving any medical advice, but a cat can detect if you have an irregular heartbeat and you are about ready to have something happen? And many times they will, if you're feeling anxiety and you're upset, of course your heart is beating, they will come and sit on your chest and will purr. And do you know that the purring will actually help you? Now, this is what I've heard, that will help you regulate your heartbeat. Isn't that amazing what these little sweet peas do? Yes, nursing home cats can. Yes, they can. Yes. I know you're not. My cats are probably confused. I have a heart murmur. No, I don't think they are, honey. They know. And they maybe try to help you regulate it. It's true, Captain Jerry. Okay, so Captain Jerry, she's my authority here. So yes. Sherry with an S, I'm not giving up either. I know you're not, my darling. Sometimes it just gets frustrated. And I get it. You get frustrated. That's why we still have standouts. I'm in Norfolk County. Oh, bless you. Oh, that's okay. I get it now. Hello. The plate is real. Free care. I have a systolic rumor. Well, I'm going to tell you, my son was born with a heart murmur. And I was told that he would have a hard time and maybe not be around. He's almost 30 now. And you know what? I got cats. And I let the cats sleep with him because he would go to bed and be so tired, dark eyes. He had a bad night, and I would sleep with him. But, heck, if you fall asleep, you can't. Oh boy, the cats were on the job. The cats were on the job. He's fine now. He's played sports. He was in football. Now, I'm going to tell you, I believe that by the grace of God, we all get healed. But why not? So let me see here. Felishel, purring frequency can calm you. It's scientifically there you go. So now, listen, it is extremely rare that I have anxiety because I control myself. And that sounds weird, but I do. And I know ways that I, whatever. But these little turds, if I've ever get upset or if I have a friend who's, passed away or something and I'm upset, oh, right there. No, they know it. If I sing, they all sit around here, around me. It's like, stop. Anyway, my friend had heart surgery when she was a baby. She said, oh, bless you. Oh, thank you for sharing that. There you go, Kelly. You're okay. You know, when you figure out you're going to get through, that helps a lot. It does. Watching both sides tonight help out. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, yes, the heart beats by an electric current passing through its energy, and cats are like little Buddhas. They are. And control energy with just a present. Well, my darling, with those positive things being said, I want to thank you tonight for being here. Welcome October. Things are going to get very interesting. Watch the community tab. Beacon 77, not Beacon, Bentley, sorry. Bentley 77, congratulations. You are a winner. Email me so I can get your code so you can start watching this. Kat, I think that's wonderful. Listen, all of these little sweethearts are here for us. That's the way I look at it. So I want you to just get ready. We're going to have a great time this October. Halloween is October 31st. It is a Friday night. I will be here doing whatever I'm going to be doing. I don't know yet, but it is what it is. If you want to come and spend the night with me or the evening with me, I don't have trick-or-treaters. I might tell a story or two, and we'll just go another one. In the meantime, I will see you all on Thursday night. And I'm sorry, this is Thursday night. Hello. I will see you all on Saturday night for Seeing Crime at 7 p.m. But I think we're going to be talking about, since October, we may be talking about some paranormal crime. Ooh. Oh gosh, that sounded like a wolf, didn't it? Wait a minute. Hello. Did you hear that? I do that, by the way. Did you hear that? Here, hold on. Here's the wolf howl. And I sounded just like it. Oh. We have a lot of fun here, and I really appreciate each and every one of you. So thank you again, my darlings, for being here. Let me get rid of this media, this little thing before I do the outro, because I don't like them hanging on the outros. And I thank you. Thank you, too, for going over to True Oracle and watching those videos as we get acclimated into more. You know, I'm going to just tell you, Charlie Kirk is to True Oracle that Karen Reed is to Seeing Crime in my channel. So if you can look over there. In fact, I might even do something on Michael Jackson. You just never know. Thank you, my darlings, for being here. I wish each and every one of you a safe evening, a safe tomorrow. We're coming down to the weekend. I will see you Saturday night. And you know what? Good night, Elizabeth. I love you. And so, the lantern fades, but the shadows remain. This story may end here, or perhaps it's only just begun. See you soon.